the body and patting the body just to try and get the prana, the life force, moving. And let me just take this back a little bit because I think I'm being a little bit too chopped off. So I'm just going to adjust. That's a little bit better, isn't it? Good. All right, so this is something I've been doing quite a lot of recently. The fascia, which is the body glove under our skin surface that covers everything. A fascia rinse. So just start by lifting your shoulders and dropping them and having your fingers really loose like so. And then every time you drop your shoulders, breathe out of your nostrils. So it's like this. If you're comfortable doing that, maybe give it a little bit of a bounce. Yeah. If pelvic floor doesn't like that, just bend your knees and come up and down like so. If you're happy bouncing, just helps the legs to get a bit more of that shaking through, almost shakes out the tension spots. Keep breathing out. So you're lifting your shoulders, you're dropping them up to your ears, letting your fingers be very loosey-goosey, and each time you come down, just breathing out of your nostrils. But this is just as good. Little bends of the knees if pelvic floor is not feeling quite so happy tonight. Just do a few more of these while people are joining, shaking out your fingers, bring your shoulders up like so. Now I'm going to get you to move a little bit as you do this. So just moving from side to side. You might just slow your breathing down a little bit and get a little bit of a bounce in your knee as you swing your hands from side to side. Try and breathe out each time you go to a new side. Breathe out. Breathe out. So it's a little bit of a different pattern to the breath. This is again just that rinse. Try and soften the knees a bit more. Let the fingers be really floppy. Good. I'm going to take your feet a little bit wider and just kind of slap the top of your shoulders. Take your weight one side and then the other, slapping into the back of the shoulders. Again, breathing out, breathing out, breathing out, breathing out through the nostrils if you can. Beautiful. Now rinsing with the arms out. It's a bit more familiar. Bending the knees. Keep the torso straight. So notice I'm not doing that. I'm keeping the torso straight, knees are bending. And then open up the hands so your fingers are stretching apart and make this a little bit more exaggerated as we warm up into the spine. And a longer, more deliberate breath out now with each move. Again, see if you can breathe out through the nostrils, keeping the mouth just softly closed. Good. Now we're going to turn this into a discus throwing full body stretch. So the action is throw the discus, pause, stretch the whole front line of the body, and then come down. Now you want to breathe in as you come up, and then out as you come down. Breathe in, slow breath in, and then ha. As you come down, we're now breathing out of the mouth. Ha. Nice loose lower jaw. Ha. See if you can make a bit of sound. Ha. With that breath out. Ha. So you try to clear the bottom of your lungs. Ha. We point the toes. We stretch into the fingertips. Ha. Ha. Breathe deeply in. Open the lungs. Ha. And then release all of the breath out. Ha. 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 Good. Now take the hands behind you, one at a time, as if you're backwards swimming. You can keep the knees nice and soft. You want to mobilize into the shoulder girdle. See if you can look at your hands. This is great if you've been at the desk all day, getting some blood flow mobility through the shoulders. Good. Okay, we're going to take the movement into rotational direction. So head and shoulders now flowing around. Nice wide base with your feet. Bend the knees, straighten the legs, bend the knees, straighten the legs. From the base of the rib cage upwards is circling, unwinding. Good, one direction, pause, other direction. See if you can let one shoulder drop, other shoulder lift, one shoulder drop, other shoulder lift. That's the way, come back, stack the torso, take the hips in a big circle now. So maybe wider with the feet again. Hands on the top of the hip crests here, feeling the hips lift and drop, lift and drop. Take your bum right behind you, take your pubic bone forward, if that feels okay. So for some people, when they take the pubic bone forward too much, they get pinching in the lower back. If that's you, keep your bum behind you, like so, and then just kind of gently nudge the edge of the top of that circle. It feels all right. Big hula hoops. Big hula hoops. And let's go in the other direction. This time, if you can, if it feels all right, thumbs up, little fingers down, shoulders down away from your ears. So none of this down here. A little bit of activation between those shoulders. So a tiny bit of pulling back with your arms. Very good. And then pause. Slowly come down, push the floor away, breathe in, and then breathe out. Push the floor away, breathe in, breathe out. Now notice again, I'm not dropping my head, I'm not rounding my back. So it's not like that, it's this. We're lifting our heart the whole way up and down. Bum is having to do some work now, hamstrings starting to get a bit of blood flow. Push the floor away, big breath in. That's it, bend the knees. You want to keep your crown lifted up towards the ceiling. Yeah? Beautiful, coming up and then hands down. Whew. Okay, so this is the tappy bit, this is the nice bit. Starting off, we'll just do the arms. So start off and see if it feels better doing soft fists for you or patty palms. I'm going to do patty palms. So starting on the inside of the arm, just going down to the wrist, to the palm, and back into the armpit area around the breast, into the shoulder, around and into the outside of the arm, the back of the hand, into the fingers, palm again, up, round, neck, down the arm, back again, across the chest. Two patty hands here across the chest, into the neck area, and then down the inside of the other arm, the wrist, palms, up, under the arms, into that lymph area, patty patty, shoulders, outside of the arms. Just wakes everything up. Okay, see if you can go around your shoulders and neck a bit more. This time just fingers tappy tappy, and then up into your crown, tappy tappy, like so, with raindrop fingertips, tap tap tap, right around the back of the head, above the ears, into the temples, forehead, crown, just wherever it feels like it is nice, back of the head again, down into the jaw, wriggle the jaw, tap into those imaginary screws we've got on either side of the jaw. Good. And then down into the neck. Good, keep going down. Chest, and then into belly, and I'm going to get you to go up the right side, across the rib cage, down the left side. Little pats, not too hard, but not too soft either. You want to feel a bit of activation. around the intestines. Paddy, 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 paddy. Like so. Okay, I'm going to go into the back of the kidneys. So, like so. Try to come into the back. Let's bend the knees. Come down. Stick the bum behind you. Then go into here. Back into the belly. And then go into the thighs. Down onto the inner thighs. On the top of the thighs. Into the outside of the thighs. The right to the bend. Into your bum, back of your legs. Hamstrings. And then the lower parts, wanting to stick the bum right behind you, bend your knees right down, pat, 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 into the calves, bit of blood flow, get a bit of speed going here, keep patting, and back up. Good. And then another rinse. Rinse the hands, get a bit of a jiggle going on, and then get your shoulders going as well, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. We're just going to go back to that. Breath out through the nostrils. Feels comfortable. Find little bounces with this as well. Good. Just stand for a moment in Tadasana. So take your feet hip width apart, spread your toes, press the heels into the ground, and then imagine as you push the ground away, you're kind of stacking the skeleton to come and stand with the crown of your head lifting straight up to the ceiling, chin drawn back. Back of the head feels like a mother cat has picked you up. So the ridge of the head pushing backwards slightly and then straight upwards. Lift your shoulder, one shoulder up, slide it down your back. Other shoulder up, slide it down your back. Thumbs forward, palms kind of open. And just take some slow breaths now. As you breathe in, imagine the breath is coming up through your feet, right up through the body to the crown of the head. And as you breathe out, slowly now, imagine that breath is plunging down like a coffee plunger down into the ground. Just notice the sensation of the tingling, the prana underneath the skin surface. Softening your exhalation. Just going to come through a bit of a flow. So take the feet wider, a bit more than a meter apart. Stretch the fingers out and shoulders down. Now pull out with your fingertips and push down and out with your feet. So you are a star. Crown of the head lifting, shoulders are soft, fingers and feet are active. And then turn both feet to the right. So right foot straight forward, back foot, left foot turning in at 45 degrees. And sink yourself down into warrior two. So you might need to inch your feet a little bit wider. And just pause here in warrior two. And we're splitting the mat between the feet. Shoulders down, fingers active. And then just turn your head, swivel it on the pretend lollipop stick of your neck. Just turn your head forward and then back, forward and then back. And then leave it looking forward and let your eye gaze become really soft. So this is called your dristi. The muscles around your eyes go really soft. So it feels like your eyes have gone all lazy. See if you can sigh out and go a little bit lower. Weight is in that front heel. The strength through the knee, shin bone, right down through the heel into the ground. Strong thigh. Turn the palm of the front hand and slowly breathe in as you float into Archer, stretching the front arm of the body. Pause right on that edge, so stretch right into the fascia under the skin surface. And then slowly breathing out. And then stretch the back arm up and over towards that opposite wall. Now see how I just went dum with my shoulder. So we always avoid that and we come down. Do that again slowly. Push the floor away with that front heel. Push it. Feel that ripple effect through the body, sending you into Archer here. And then we just fold forward. Again, little toe edge of your back foot pressing into the ground so the whole back line of the body stretches, opens. Again, pushing the floor away, coming into archer. Breathe in. And then fold the forearm onto your thigh and stretch the back line. Let's just stay here. Pasvokkonasana, side angle pose. If you're feeling a bit more stretchy, take the fingers to the ground. Otherwise, just staying here. Pull the front femur back into your pelvis a little bit. Let's just take this hand down, let the head drop, and then push the floor away, come up. Now, you can come straight into triangle if your legs feel fine. You might need to shorten your stance a little bit. Back hip rolls forward. Hand, I don't believe in that because I think most people do this. So hand wherever it lands so that your spine can stay straight, yeah? Back hip is rolling forward. We don't want to crank the back of the pelvis. And then let's just play with the shoulder. So drop the elbow down, fingers on shoulder, and then lift the elbow up. And then drop it down. Now breathe in really deliberately as you lift the elbow up. And then breathe out fully. Clear the lungs. Breathe in slowly and deliberately. And breathe out. And then breathing in one more time. Pause here. Chin in. Send that hand up towards the ceiling. Good. Stretching hand above the head. Wonderful. Pushing that little toe edge of your back foot into the ground. I'm going to get the stretch right into the hip. Look at the ground. Take that top hand back towards the pelvis. Drop into the front knee, so you bend, and you push the floor away and float up. Be really smooth with that float. Turn the toes in. Arms out like an angel. Turn the other toe out. Make sure this back foot's turned in 45 degrees. So you're not here, you're not here. 45 degrees. Slide down, warrior two. Shoulders relaxed, fingers active. Turning the head, mobilizing right to your range end. And then let the eyes become soft. See if you can sink down a little bit more on an exhalation. So we're opening up the inner thighs. Turn the palm of the front hand. Push the floor away as you float upwards, opening up that front line. And then folding forward. Exhaling all the way. Push the floor away, flowing upwards, front line of the body stretch. And then folding down. Clear the lungs. So you can create that Ujjayi breath. Slight constriction on the back of the throat. Now drop yourself into the side angle, maybe coming into a lower version. And then let's have a little play with this arm, taking it down. Imagine you've got a string from your earlobe. It's just gently coming up towards the ceiling. Looking at the ground, pushing the floor away, swiveling, and then place your hands on either side of that front foot. We're going to just drop our knees to the ground for a moment, tucking toes, lifting tail, and then tucking tail, and then lifting tail, and tucking tail. So just take the movement through the pelvis. Make sure your shoulders are pretty much on top of your wrists. And then start to exaggerate the movement from the tail still, but ripple the movement right up your spine. Always starting from the tail. Breathe in really deliberately as you lift the tail, and then breathing out completely, slowly, as you tuck your tail. Get the tail up. We're going to lift the knees off the ground very slowly. Stick your bum up in the sky. Draw your tail back and up, back and up, back and up, back and up. Roll the shoulders away from your ears. Start to press your heels down one at a time. So we're going to massage into the calf muscles. If this does not suit your shoulders, for whatever reason, come down instead and into an extended child pose like so, yeah? So if this is too much weight on shoulders tonight, give yourself an extended shell pose instead. So we just want to massage into the ankles, into the feet, into the calves. If it's comfy for you, drop the knees across the midline of your body. Rinse it all out. Good. Dropping knees onto the ground. Take your left foot forward. Top of the right foot on the ground. Press that right foot into the ground to send you forward slowly. So as you press the right foot into the ground, you get the stretch into the quadriceps, hip flexors, and then maybe taking the arms up as you come into a lunge. Breathe in, a little bit of a back bend, and then hands down. Tucking those back toes, see if you can send yourself back into downward facing dog smoothly. Drop the knees across the midline of the body. Again, a bit more exaggerated this time. Go right into those hips. Bit of a twist. And knees on the ground. Right foot forward. Pressing into that left foot. Pushing it into the ground to send the pelvis forward. And into your lunge. Good, slowly coming down. Fantastic. Take your knees wide on your mat. Send your bottom back and then up and send your chest down. You can turn your head and have your arms out like a cactus, or if it's okay on your shoulders, send them all the way out and forward and chin in and forehead on the ground. So see what suits you. But imagine you're like one of those water boatmen that sits on the surface of the water. I'm going to try and spread your body to keep you afloat. Breathe into the back of your lungs. So imagine the lower lobes of the back of your lungs as you breathe are pushing up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, see if you can melt even a 1/4 millimeter downwards. So you're just sitting on your edge of stretch into the front line of the body, into those inner thighs as well. Use your breath to soften. Very good. Slowly coming up. Let's just come up on hands and knees again. Bring the knees a little bit closer. Mobilize into those wrists. So turn your hands, paw at the ground. We know that when we take time to stretch the body, to move the body, to rinse the body before we go to bed, we're likely to have a much better night's sleep. So emotion is energy in motion. And when we've been busy and feeling a lot of stuff, and then we don't move and breathe and process, emotion can get stuck as tension in the body and turns up as over the long term habitual tightening of the posture and tension patterns and pain. Good, so let those wrists be nice and loosey-goosey. Then bring the knees together and we're just going to drop the hips down. So go right into that IT band, into the hip area. Keep the elbows a little bit soft here. Up and over to the other side, drape the hips. So we want to look after the pelvis. If we have been doing a lot of sitting, then we really need to do this. This is important. Good. Now have an explore. So take your hips up and then drop your bum back so that the right sitting bone, the bone in your bum here, is dropping backwards. I'm heading to about 5 o'clock. And then send your left fingers out to the side to about, 11 o'clock, and stretch across the back of your body. And then send your bum down towards the heels and over to the other side, left hip bone, dropping down to about, 7 or 8 o'clock, and fingers stretching out to about 2 o'clock. Very good. Slowly coming up. Now take the pelvis around in a big circle. So you want to go into the front of the pelvis as well now. Opening up into the groin area. Big circles. See if you can match your breathing to your movement. Or actually, better still, moving to your breath. So slow, complete breaths in and out. Just pause and then go in the other direction. If you need to come down on forearms, if wrists are feeling at all grouchy, just come onto your forearms like so. Good, so we're going to open up into the legs a bit more. If you've got bricks, you can always have your bricks underneath your arms to bring the ground up a little bit. So because we want to avoid rounding, we want to keep the chest open and the shoulders down the back. Taking the right foot forward, toes out to the side, dropping the pelvis forward and then back, forward and then back. And as I come back, bring toes with you. So have I got some bricks here? I have. You've got bricks, or you can use the bolster. Sometimes, in order to not let your chest collapse, so in order to not do that and tuck your tail, use these so you can keep the torso straight. You see my sitting bones are lifted, that's really important. Pause here for a moment, toes right out, knee out to the side, getting into the groin area. And then all the way back. Now pull your toes towards you. Keep your shoulders down. So your head just come up onto your fingertips. And opening the chest, sitting bones lifted, shoulders down the back. Chin drawn in. So you can see the difference between that, tail is tucked, and that. A lot stronger on the hamstrings. Very good. Let's just take that foot out to the side, toes are forward. Now come here so you can see. Toes are forward, and then send your bum back. Send your hands forward, stretch. Oh, front of the body stretch. Leg out to the side. Very good. Slowly come up. Keep your leg there. Left hand under the chest. Right hand up towards the ceiling. And then thread the needle. Comes right underneath that left arm. Elbow dropping towards the ground. Chin tucked in. Turn the head. See if you can drop your shoulder down. Send your bum back. Opening up the inside of the thigh and going into a twist. The pretzel. Good. Slowly unwinding. Send that arm up. Oh, that's like a little chiropractic adjustment. Let's come and do that on the other side. So, give your hips a little drop from side to side. And then taking that left foot forward. And we're just mobilizing back and forward. Back and forward. So coming into kind of lizard leg at the front. Just doing like that kind of thing. And use your bricks if you've got them, just to lift your chest. Let's pause as we come back. pulling those toes, going right into the hamstrings, right into the calf. And then give that a bit of a rub. That's it. Remember, just do what you can. Yeah, if I'm going a little bit too fast, just stick with what feels right. As you do more and more of these classes, you'll sort of get the rhythm of what we do. So initially, it can feel quite a lot. So I'm just going to move back and forward a bit more. Beautiful. And what did I do? Can't remember what I just did before. What do I do after that? Was that it?
Didn't you thread the needle?
Oh yeah, I did. I knew there was something around. Thank you. Yeah. So there was it. I took a leg out to the side. I haven't got any of this written down. Take your leg out to the side and then drop your bum back. So that's the beginning bit. This might be where you stay. This is quite strong on your adductors, your inner thigh muscles. So if that feels all right, then let's have a go with taking the right hand this time underneath the chest, left hand up towards the ceiling. And then thread the needle all the way down. Oh, now you need to pull your chin right in. Yeah, so the chin's right in as if you're tucking the side of your head on the ground, just very gently, so there's no pressure in the neck. Gently see if you can get the outside of your shoulder towards the ground. Keep breathing, make sure you're not holding your breath. And slowly coming up. Ooh. That was a full body rinse. Full body rinse. Okay, so we were prepping the hips, all of this pelvic area for a bit of pigeon. Tucking toes again. Let's go to downward facing dog to start off with. So draw your bottom back and up, shoulders away from your ears. Start to send the heels down. Stretch the back of your legs. Most important thing is the back, yeah? So if you need to bend your knees, absolutely please do so. The heels dropping down comes afterwards. Slow breath in, slow breath out completely. Give your head a shake. Breathe in and out. Just enjoy this full body stretch. And then when you're ready, looking up between your hands, bring your feet towards each other. Take your right foot off the mat. Massage into that right foot. Now we want to take this knee up. We want to try and take this right foot towards the left hand. So however you get there, foot towards the left hand and then knee towards the right side. So it's not going to be perfectly across, but just do the best you can. Now, the back leg, so the left leg, want to slide into the middle of your mat. So just make sure it's not all over one side, middle of the mat. Now, if you've got bricks, good to slide one just underneath your bum, yeah, so that your pelvis can rest on it. Now, the idea of pigeon is to keep for us ladies, is to keep the back of the pelvis, the sacrum area, flat. What we don't want to do is torque. See how I'm doing that? That pulls on the sacrum, so try not to do that. Try to prop your bum as much as you need to in order to keep the back flat, straight. And take a few breaths here. And I like to do a bit of undulation, this kind of wave through the chest as the pelvis opens. And then slowly see if you can come down a little bit deeper. If you've got bricks, maybe forearms on bricks. Maybe even stacking the bricks. So forehead can go on the bricks. Now, when we're in a deep stretch like this, where we're going into the belly of a big muscle, so like bum, thigh, calf muscle, these big muscles can cope with a big, deep global stretch. What we don't want is any pinchy pain, especially in the knees. So if you're getting any pinchy pain, just come out of this, okay? Some people, hip joints, don't do this. They just don't. So in which case, that's you. You'll have to come into a zigzag shape like that instead. And then just gently come forward. You'll still get a really decent stretch into your glute and into the thigh. And in pigeon pose, or variants of pigeon pose, the idea is to let the whole of your body absorb the stretch sensation. So you almost want to soften the stretch sensation by imagining that all the parts of your body that aren't stretching right now, that are just feeling open and normal, almost the lightness of the rest of the body is infusing into the part that is full of sensation. And use your breath, use your soft exhalation to soften the body. Every time you breathe out, see if your body muscle fibers can melt, almost like wax, just melting. Very good. Slowly flow upwards. Take this back leg and bring it forward in front of the right bent knee. Interlace your hands on the outside of the knee here, and then pull your femur, your thigh bone, into your pelvis by pulling your knee in towards you. Drop the shoulders down and see if you can straighten your back as much as possible. Crown of the head lifting straight up, back of the head lifting upwards. Imagine we're doing that tool against the wall thing, so you're lengthening upwards and activating the back muscles. Good. Now, I'm going to slide straight into pigeon on the other side. If you want to come through down dog first, then please do so. Basically, left leg in front now. Put over to the right side. Use your, if you've got bricks, use your bricks to bring you up, to bring your back leg under your body, and then allow yourself to shuffle, slide down. If you are using this brick under your bum, or maybe several bricks, fold a blanket, get to a position where you feel like you're just on your edge of stretch. So what I mean is it's not painful, but you can feel the edge of it. You're like, oh, I can feel that. And then from here, just soften. So maybe do some waves, breathing in, breathing out completely. Breathing in, lightening the load, and then breathing out, right down, just beyond your initial edge, softening. And then maybe settling into 5 breaths, focusing on your exhalation, softening shoulders, letting all the little muscles around your eyes become really soft, cheeks become soft, jaw becomes relaxed. Slide hands under shoulders, slowly push the floor away, blowing upwards. And then we're going to take that back leg, swing it forward. Same thing. Interlacing the hands on the outside of the leg, on the shin here. Pull the leg in towards you, let the shoulders drop, straighten your spine, activate the back muscles, chin in, crown of the head lifting. Slide your shoulders down. So I didn't do this on the other side, we'll do it on this side. As you pull in, then start to push your knee slightly to the left. Yeah, so you're pulling in and pushing slightly to the left as you swivel. And just look over your right shoulder. We're getting a gentle corkscrew twist right up the spine. Very good. Just dropping that knee. Turn yourself around. If it feels better, put bricks under your bum. So you're a little bit higher here. That's the way. Good. Fingers on clavicles. Drop the chin. And then as you slowly breathe in, pull your fingers over your clavicles. So you stretch the front of your neck. That's it. And then dropping the chin again, right down. Breathe in slowly. Pull your fingers just down over your clavicles. And again. So the front of the neck can get really tight if we are sticking our head forward. And then down. Good. Arms out to the side. Take the right arm across. Bend the left arm. Pull the bottom of your right arm in. Shoulders down. Gently push out with that right arm. Pull in with the left arm. So you can feel it here. And then tilt the air up towards the ceiling. And so just soften your facial muscles on your exhalation. So see if you can create a bit of noise on the exhale. Like a long sigh. Soften the muscles around the eyes. Slowly open the chest, fingers back, lift the heart center, squeeze the muscles between the shoulders. And then taking that right arm across, swinging, left arm across, swinging the right arm underneath, pulling out with that left arm, pulling in with the right arm. Earlobe drifting up towards the ceiling. Breathing in, this time as you breathe out, imagine your shoulders are just melting down towards the ground. Good, opening up the arms. And then slide your right hand down and your left hand up. And then slowly flow to the other side. Nice lateral stretch. That's it. Creating that slight constriction on the back of the throat. So as you breathe out, you create that ujjayi, soft Darth Vader sound. That's the way. Coming back up again. Legs out. If you're on bricks, just come to the front of your bricks so that your pubic bone is down. Sitting bones are lifted. And then toes up, and then just walk your fingers forward. Now, it might be that your hands are here, and this is where you're at. Keep the chest open, and just open up the legs. If you feel a bit more flexy, maybe walking your fingers forward. Breathing in, pausing, and then breathing out to melt. And then breathing in, pausing, and breathing out to melt. These bricks hurt. I'm just going to take those away. And then maybe take those in front. Forward folding legs out. So if need be, they've got bricks, bent knees, bricks under the knees. That can work really nicely. Sigh the breath out. Now, once you get to your edge, wherever you're at, once you get to just the edge there where it feels like, yeah, you're not going to go any further tonight, then let everything soften. Yeah, so just let your feet go, let your shoulders go, let your head go, and see if you can just breathe into your edge. Slowly walk your hands, maybe your bricks back up. Gather your legs up. Beautiful. Take them over to one side. Fold yourself down onto the ground. If you've got a brick, take it under your head. Otherwise, you need to roll a blanket up and put it under your head so that we have our spine in one long line here. Bottom arm out. Top fingers just on the temple. Elbow bent. So try again, create a lot of sound with your breath. Chin is in. So drop the elbow to start off with and take a nice, slow, deliberate breath in. 5. You can count these breaths. Slow breath in. Breathing all the way out. 4. Breathing in. And 4. Breathing all the way out. 3. Breathing in. See if you can drop that elbow back. A little bit further each time. 2. Breathing in for 1. As you breathe out for 1, leave your elbow there and just turn your head, breathing out. So leave the elbow behind you. Just staying in this open chest, pectoral stretch for a moment. If your shoulder's absolutely fine, there's nothing pinchy going on, maybe extend fingers out so you unfurl that whole arm. That gravity stretch. It's called the lung 1 meridian from the inside of the fingers all the way down here into the shoulder. So just if it feels okay. Okay, then everybody just bring your arm down to your hip here. Just give your shoulder a roll or 2, give it a massage. Slide onto your back for a moment. Over to the other side. Hip rolling. Bottom arm out, fingertips on the forehead, elbow drops. Breathing in, 5. And then out, 5. Breathing in for 4. Try and make this almost a meditation where your mind is absolutely focused on infusing these shoulder muscle fibers with your breath. Using the sound of the breath to exaggerate each movement. And 1. Leaving the elbow there, just turn the head forward, pause here, so we're getting a stretch into the neck, into the shoulder. If it feels too much, modify. If it feels okay here, maybe unfurling fingers out like a fern behind you, so the whole of the arm with gravity is really opening up into the front of the chest area, into the shoulder. And then take the hand down, just rest it, give that shoulder a couple of rolls. And back onto your back. Taking brick, look at a bolster or bolster. I'm using my brick tonight. So we can put it under our pelvis. But first of all, feet straight forward, toes wide. Push the feet into the ground, roll up your spine towards your shoulders, pause here, and then roll back down. And you want to imagine your spine is like a pearl necklace. So as you come up, and then especially as you come down, you're just placing 1 pearl at a time down onto the ground. So we are articulating through the spine, keeping the synovial fluid regenerating in those vertebrae all the way up, all the way down. Now, either sticking to that or if you like coming up towards your shoulders, it doesn't cause too much pressure in your head, yeah? So be mindful if you've got glaucoma or blood pressure issues. But if this is fine for you, come up and draw your shoulders underneath your body. And you might grab your brick and place it maybe on the high side. I'm going to try the high side here because I've gone a bit higher under the sacrum. That does not feel good on your back. Try the middle side there, yeah? Your high side, you just kind of draping, almost like this is the tent pole and your body's the tent. Now, of course, you don't have a brick, you're using your bolster under your pelvis, like so. Slow breath in, and breath out. And if you have come on the higher side of the brick, come onto your toes, take the brick down to the flat side now and slowly come down. Or if you're on your bolster and it feels too high, come down onto the ground or a folded blanket. Good. Just rock your pelvis a little bit so you stretch into the lower back. And take your knees up and draw them wide and back towards your armpits here. Nice big circles with your feet. Slow your breathing down now. Big circles. Now see if you can gently draw those knees a bit further apart. One direction and the other direction with those feet. And then just see if you can take the feet up towards the ceiling. Now, if you have a strap nearby and this doesn't feel comfortable, it can be really helpful to have a strap to take over the balls of your feet and hold on to the strap. So I don't have a strap nearby, but if you've got one, you can use the strap. Otherwise, grab hold of whatever you can easily hold on to where you're not taking your head and shoulders off the mat. So head and shoulders have to stay on the mat. Maybe the back of your legs, maybe your calves, ankles. If you can easily get your feet, do that. Maybe a bit wider with the knees. And if you can get your toes and you feel like the V shape is accessible tonight, or maybe just want to nudge into that, then have a little play here. So I always lead from the heels. So imagine there's a little string from the center of the heel, and that string is gently being pulled away. Keep the upper body melting into the ground. Keep the jaw relaxed, the face relaxed. Maybe taking those feet towards each other. Have a little play with whatever feels all right, feels nice, feels like your body just wants you to do. Beautiful. And then to finish off, taking arms and legs back up towards the ceiling. Let everything be weighted. Arms and legs heavy like lead dropping down into shoulders and pelvis. And then just give it all a jiggle. A little fascia shake out again. Hands, wrists, ankles, calves, forearms, elbows, knees, thighs, upper arms, and then the jaw. And make a nice long, low vibrational sound out like this. As long as you can make it. Let's do one more. Breathing in. Good. Lock. Take that breath out if you've still got it there. Lovely. Feet wide, arms wide, little drop with the knees from side to side. Just giving it a gentle rinse out. And then just come in. Like if you've got a bolster underneath your thighs, if you've got 2 bricks, they can go under your thighs. Just have your feet dropping out to the side. Feet always at least 30 centimeters apart. Arms up. Back of the hands on the ground. Head, give it a little rock and then let your head settle. Breathing in and breathing out. Try to keep your mind just under the skin surface of your body. Just focusing on that tingly sensation. This is the qi in Chinese philosophy, Chinese medicine, or the prana in Sanskrit. It's the life force. And the beautiful thing about yoga practice, is it opens up the nadis, the energy channels, and it helps us to come back to a state of balance. So the word yoga means yoking together. And hatha yoga, hatha is the sun and the moon. So you're yoking the light and the dark, the yin and the yang, bringing the different energies of the body back into balance. And we do that through the breath, infusing movement. The breath is our link between the spirit, all that is, and this physical manifestation, this body that we are experiencing this lifetime through. So as you lie here now, just absorbing the practice, integrating at a cellular level the practice. See if you can meditate on the sensations of your breath. Just watching in your mind's eye the diaphragm automatically pulling the breath into your lungs and pushing the breath out of your lungs. Just like your heart, the diaphragm's working of its own accord. This body of yours is being breathed. But isn't it wonderful that we can consciously change the rhythm of the diaphragm and consciously change our energetic state? We start to create an ability to control the nervous system, to control the way we perceive stress, react to stress, cope with stress. Mentally saying to your body, this extraordinary cloak that you wear through this lifetime, mentally saying to your body, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And just allowing that mantra, thank you, to land where it needs to land tonight. Just pressing your thumb to your first finger, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, doing that a couple of times. Give your toes a little scrunch, a little wriggle. And then give your body a stretch. Just fold yourself into a ball and roll to one side. And push the floor away and just flow up to the seated position. Take any last bits of movement, maybe a twist, maybe a lateral stretch that you feel your body needs. And then visualize your spine and come and sit and find that sweet spot where your head is perfectly positioned over your neck. There's no holding. Just feels like when you hit a golf ball perfectly. It's just right. Take a moment. Just to be here now. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Namaste.